I don't have a problem with the WNBA players asking for a raise. The WNBA is on a hot streak. I don't care about the previous 24, 25 years. As an investment, it's starting to pay off. And so this week they wore T-shirts saying, making a statement, you better pay us. But instead of just leaving it at that, Kelsey Plum for LA had to take a dig at Caitlin Clark.
Last season, the WNBA celebrated a major milestone by surpassing 2 million fans. And this year, it came remarkably close to repeating that achievement. However, instead of a joyful all-star press conference to mark the occasion, the event took an unexpected turn. The atmosphere shifted dramatically when Kelsey...
The T-shirt, just United Front, was determined this morning that we had a meeting for. And, not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that.
Those flat black T-shirts boldly declared, "Pay us what you owe," meant to signal unity in the players' ongoing fight for fair compensation. But instead of presenting a united labor front, the gesture sparked a week-long firestorm online, igniting a comment section war that split veteran stars from the rookie, who's undeniably fueling the league's financial momentum. Tonight, we're diving into the chaos, tracing the money trail, crunching the numbers, and outlining for potential solutions that could steer...
Touch on the last and latest being this viral Kelsey Plum dig, if you will. And I was in the room for this. It did strike me as very odd in the moment when she said what she said. I wrote it off as kind of awkward, but so it was definitely awkward what Kelsey Plum said. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and that she was attempting to have some trash talk there. She had taken a shot at Team Caitlin Clark and how much better Team Collier was earlier in the game, and not associate that directly with Caitlin Clark. One, because of the delivery and the awkwardness involved there, and her saying she's trying to...
Imagine the moment, cameras flashing, reporters shouting questions about the ongoing CBA negotiations. In the middle of it all stands Kelsey Plum, All-Star, champion and vice president of the Players Union, who takes a jab at the opposing team by pointing out that not a single member of Team Clark attended the meeting. Sitting beside her, Sabrina Ionescu raises her eyebrows in disbelief and lets out a faint chuckle, the kind that escapes when a private group chat suddenly becomes national television fodder. She responds quietly,
discussing these T-shirts that the WNBA All-Star teams wore out on the court, man. And I'm here to tell you, Kelsey Plum made it her business to take a little shot at Caitlin Clark and her team. Now, Sabrina Ionescu quickly, swiftly, and in a hurry, kind of tried to stop Kelsey Plum from taking these little shots, but she didn't care. She made it her business to say, well, you know what? No one from Team Caitlin even showed up to the meetings to discuss the shirts and so on.
And just like that, a 15-second exchange stole the spotlight from everything the league had planned. Alia Boston's slick post move, Jewel Lloyd's deep 4-point shots, even the halftime concert. By morning, the narrative had shifted from celebrating record-breaking veterans.
Why do you take a shot at the Golden Goose, Caitlin Clark? You guys were flying before she arrived on one of those airlines that made you pay for a cup of water. One of those airlines that is the planes are the color of a highlighter. Now you're flying private. Okay, if you're in a band and you're staying at the Motel 6 and you add a band member and now you're at the Ritz-Carlton, keep your issues to yourself. All right? You went from a Motel 6 in a sketchy part of town to a Four Seasons in the shopping district. Stop talking.
I spent the weekend sifting through thousands of comments across YouTube, TikTok, ESPN, X, and every feed that would load, and the pattern was crystal clear. First, fans are tired of what they call mean girl energy. They admire the talent, but can't stand the petty shots. Second, there's real fear that the league's biggest star might be driven to injury or pushed overseas, and that ratings will collapse the moment she's gone. Third, many can't reconcile the players chanting "pay us more" while the league continues to report financial losses. And above all, fans are desperate for anyone to shift the conversation back to basketball. One comment nailed the sentiment: I tuned in for Logo 3 South, not a junior high gossip fest.
These WNBA players, they get more unlikable every day. And the blatant jealousy, the blatant hatred towards Caitlin Clark is I mean, it's obvious. They don't even try to hide it. We got Kelsey Plum talking about these pathetic shirts that they wore out onto the court. And I'm going to tell you, these players all put these shirts on. And like I said in a couple of previous videos, that back.
Let's bring some perspective back into the conversation. Last season, Indiana averaged 16,757 fans per home game, NBA level numbers for a team that barely drew 4,000 just 2 years prior. Across the league, average nightly attendance rose from just under 6,700 to nearly 9,800. On TV, the 2024 All-Star Game fueled by the Why Did the Olympic Team Snub Caitlin storyline drew 3.44 million viewers, the highest in WNBA history. Even this summer's game, missing Clark due to a groin injury, still attracted 2.19 million, though that marked a 36% drop in just 1 year. Meanwhile, Nike can't keep Indiana Fever jerseys in stock 3 sizes or back-adored until Halloween, and internal league documents leaked to Front Office Sports revealed traffic at WNBAstore.com has surged 312% year-over-year. Need a business degree to connect the dots. One rookie has become the fuel powering the league's rapid rise.
All right, last one on this, because the WNBA pay debate has become such a hot button topic. But let's break down the WNBA CBA negotiations and the players' shirts that say, pay us what you owe us, to the simplest form. I think a lot of this is noise. You know, CBA negotiations, both sides take their positions and hold them until there is a deadline. And I don't believe either side in this discussion would really want to see a lockout, right? They wouldn't want to see a lockout because all that momentum would be killed right in that.
To be fair to Plumby, because Balance Matters, she didn't wake up looking to play the villain. She's a former number 1 pick, a 6th woman turned starter, and one of the leading faces of Under Armour's women's line. She's also a union rep, according to whispers from the Sparks locker room. Her comment was meant as a light jab, implying that Team Clark may have partied a bit too hard the night before and missed the meeting alarm. But in high-stakes labor talks, optics matter more than intent. Unity is leverage, and the moment Plum called out the absent rookies, she handed management an easy win. Public proof that the players aren't fully aligned, that the league's biggest ratings magnet might not be locked into the union's mission. As one TV executive told Sports Business Daily, if we think Clark might sit or bolt, we cut our opening bid by 10 to 15%. That's tens of millions of dollars over one offhand joke.
I think they deserve a big raise, maybe not 50% of revenues, because NBA stars, there's a lot of them, and they move the needle. The WNBA stars, well, there's one that moves the needle. And here's the other thing to remember. Caitlin Clark's already rich. She made $11 million this year alone in endorsements off the court. So regardless of how these negotiations go, she's set. Nobody else is, right? Like, so when somebody joins the band and everything gets upgraded, just be happy.
Here's how the salary structure really works. All player compensation comes from a pool known as basketball-related income, everything from ticket sales and TV deals to merchandise revenue. Right now, players get 50% of that pot. The upcoming CBA negotiations will determine whether their share increases. But if broadcasters sense instability, whether it's a superstar sidelined by hard fouls or burned out from behind-the-scenes drama, they offer less money. Smaller media deals mean a smaller pot, which means smaller salaries. That's the ripple effect Plum unintentionally triggered.
Why would you turn around and say that? That does not make sense. You said you wanted to look united, right? You wanted to make it look like y'all all were on one accord. You wanted to make it look like the advocacy was there between you all. And you come out and say 0 members of Team Caitlin Clark was there. How do you think that make y'all look now? It's just like, what was that about, man? There was no need to say.
Here's a 4-step fix because every rant deserves a solution. Step 1. Implement an automatic flagrant foul for any above-the-shoulder contact. FIBA already does it. The NBA toughened its rules after the Durant concussion era. The WNBA can follow suit. It's a simple change that protects star players, helps extend careers, and signals to broadcasters that the league is serious.
And so the first year Caitlin Clark was in the WNBA, they were hazing her. They're not hazing her anymore. They're just trying to figure out how the hell to stop her. It's not hazing. It's, all right, traps, pressure. So the Fever saw it coming. They went and got Sophie Cunningham, 6-year-old black belt. This is what the Bulls did with Charles Oakley to
Step
protect
2.
Michael Jordan.
Create a joint marketing pod that pairs rookies with veterans in every national campaign. Picture Clark sharing screen time with Plum, or Angel Reese trading banter with Brina Stewart. Promote both rivalry and mentorship. Force fans to choose. It sells better, builds bridges, and strengthens.
You see, this is exactly why a huge part of me feels like Caitlin Clark shouldn't even help these chicks get paid, bro. Bro, there's a part of me that don't even feel like she should help them get paid because of stuff like this. It is clear. It don't matter what you do, Caitlin Clark. I don't know who's in your corner, but they need to be real with you and tell you, it don't matter what you do. They don't like you. They're not gonna like you. You tried to get them more money last year behind the scenes. They still didn't like you. You came out and spoke out for black women and black women athletes, especially black women basketball.
Fans want elite women's basketball without the WWE-style cheap shots or the reality TV-style drama. They're asking for crisp screens, logo threes, and athletes who recognize that every hot mic doubles as a marketing moment. When LeBron arrived in Cleveland as a teenager, the NBA didn't shrug it, wrapped its entire infrastructure around him, from officiating to scheduling to promotions. Tennis did the same with Serena and Venus. The U.S. Women's Soccer League ensures Alex Morgan stays protected because she sells out stadiums coast to coast. The WNBA is at that same crossroads now. Ride the momentum or let it crash.
Caitlin Clark now is like kerosene to the physicality flame. So you have physicality in this league, and now you get this flashy player, and they don't know how to officiate her, they don't know how to defend her. But I would say, when I hear this, Colin, the WNBA, Colin, has got to do something. Yes, they do. Understand, this is the arc of a new superstar in your league. It'll start with hazing, it'll go to physicality, it'll go to flagrants, it may go to technicals. You'll eventually have to get a Sophie Cunningham or a Charles Oakley. I mean, Wayne Gretzky did this for years. They figured it out in hockey. How do you stop Gretzky? Oh, we can't. How do you stop MJ? We can't. How do you stop Caitlin Clark? You guys understand, this is the worst she'll ever be. She's getting better, and they can't stop her.
So, I'm handing you the clipboard. Should the league adopt an automatic flagrant rule for reckless hits? Yes or no? Tap your answer in the poll right here on the screen. Then, jump into the comments and tell me the single biggest change that would make you watch more WNBA. I'll pin the sharpest take and build next week's episode around it. If you believe this league can become the next great sports story so long as it quits tripping over its own shoelaces, then hit like, hit subscribe, share the link, and let's keep the pressure on every executive, every player, and every referee. Who controls how bright this spotlight burns? See you courtside.